This weekend, we may feel like there's this intense pressure building around us. Our thoughts are racing ahead, our actions and words are struggling to keep up. And there's this inner tension between wanting to move forward and feeling blocked, almost like this invisible barrier, this invisible force. We may find ourselves speaking or acting out of frustration. It's like we're caught in a cycle of pushing too hard, and yet we're fearing that we're not doing enough. So there's a lot of inner anxiety, um, an uncomfortable kind of energy around us. So make sure that you're not acting or especially speaking out of frustration or anger. When we speak out of anger, we allow ourselves to make the best speech that we will forever regret. This energy will stir deep emotions in our relationships, our relationship with money, and how we approach our goals. So join me as we embark on a journey of self-discovery, gaining an understanding of how to embrace this energy and moving forward today and every day. So hi, I'm Tilly. This is Tarot with Tilly, and thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for all of the positive, loving support you send me each and every day. I send it right back to you. Welcome to your weekend focus, October the 5th and the 6th, 2024. So we'll start with the numerology. Saturday, we have the energy of the 5. The 5 is all about creating giggles and laughter, joy, dancing. It's about allowing our creativity to flow, our inner expression to flow. If we look at the daily numerology for Saturday, it would be a 1 plus a 5 plus an 8. That gives us a 14. That is about finding the true balance within ourselves to forge ourselves as well. So it is about learning patience with ourselves, self-discipline with ourselves, mastering those things in our life. 1 plus 4 is a 5. So Sunday is the 6th energy. The 6th energy is about our habits, our behaviors, what we need to change, what we need to align to. And once again, it is a little bit about self-discipline. It is about understanding our behaviors and what we want that behavior to actually be going forward. And our daily numerology for Sunday would be a 1 plus a 6 plus an 8, and that gives us a 15. And the 15 is all about releasing yourself from your shackles, your behaviors, your habits of yesterday to grow, to flourish in our personalities, in our actions, in our voice. 1 plus 5 is a 6 energy. I've got a tickle. It's like a sneeze. It's coming. It's leaving. I don't know. I don't edit. I'm so sorry. The sun is in Libra. Moon is in Scorpio for, I believe, the entire weekend. It's not till Sunday night, probably around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when the moon will move into Sagittarius. So the majority of us will experience an entire weekend of that Scorpio energy. To dig for the truth, to understand, to bring in clarity. Now, Mercury and Mars forms a square, and that challenges us with balancing a sense of urgency with a sense of patience. So we're going to be driven. We are going to be driven to act upon our impulses and our ideas immediately. Okay. We will experience quick reactions within ourselves, impulsive decisions. And that is going to lead us right down a road of frustration, impatience, arguments, heated conversations, rash decisions. So we need to, we could like speak before thinking, right? Or act without considering consequences. And we need to back things up. We need to think things over. We need to double check details. It's about self-discipline because our reaction is going to be fast and furious, and we need to pull that back. We need to see it and grow from it rather than, creating this wake of chaos behind us. So do not act or speak until you understand the full scope of the situation. Be mindful in in acting or speaking, out of pure impulse. See it within yourself. Pull it back. Even if you've taken the first couple of steps in, try and stop yourself from going down that road. Okay? When we take the time to think, when we take the time to back it up under this energy, we find the right words. You ever walk away from a conversation and you're like, oh, I should have said this. Oh, it would have been perfect if I would have said that. It's because you just didn't give yourself enough time to think it through so that you can say those things, so that you can bring in clarity and understanding in those conversations and leave the anger outside of it. The minute you get angry or mad, you've lost the fight. Okay. So it's about breathing, it's about mindful thought going into those bursts of energies. Now, that burst of energy can help us move forward where we've been hesitant before. Okay. It can break through procrastination. I'm finally going to do it. But we've already given that kind of stuff thought, right? Of how we were going to do it, or how one day we were going to do it. So, those kinds of things, when we can find those kinds of things in our life that demand us to just take that step where we may have been hesitant before in doing so. I mean, channel the energy into something physical. Absolutely. Let your mind wander. Okay. So I don't care. Take a walk, run, bike, canoe, dig a hole, whatever you want to do. But when we allow ourselves to release that physical energy and we allow our minds to wander, what happens? Breakthroughs occur, aha moments, epiphanies. So it can be incredibly good energy for us, but we need to apply the self-discipline. We need to become aware of when we are acting too impulsively, spontaneously, when we are not thinking things through. And where we have thought things through and we put the action behind it now. Now we have the Sun and Saturn also talking, and so, you know, this is a kind of transit where our responsibilities, our obligations, they can weigh heavily. Okay, it may seem like the more you push towards that sense of freedom, the more your obligations hold you back. So once again, we have another transit, so many transits since this solar eclipse, that is asking us to seek balance, to find that sweet spot. Who do we want to be and what is being required of us? Take time to look at your commitments, your responsibilities, your obligations. Do they align with your personal goals? Look to tackle areas of your life where you have been procrastinating, avoiding maybe some kind of hard work that needs to be done or that hard conversation that needs to happen. This weekend, in love, it may feel as though we are walking on this tightrope, wanting to be heard, but we're unsure how to communicate it without triggering that argument or creating that distance. Our need for action feels urgent. Okay. So we need to ask ourselves, am I making the right moves in this relationship? Okay. Don't let those doubts linger somewhere out there. Are you holding fears of rejection or failure? And are those things holding you back from fully embracing the passion and the connection that you really crave within that relationship? So think about what you want to say. Think about how you want what you want them to hear and how you want them to react as well. Because sometimes it's just the way we say it. When it comes to money, anxiety could definitely bubble up there. Am I making the right choices? Am I acting impulsively? Am I making big decisions that promise to solve everything? So watch out for that kind of thinking. There will be that voice of caution whispering to you, whispering in your ear, perhaps, that you may be rushing into things without fully thinking them through. Or maybe you're hesitating because fear is keeping you from taking the necessary risks to grow. So, yeah, it's about finding that sweet spot. We have work ahead of us for this weekend, absolutely. But it can work to our favor. It can bring in tremendous success down the road. Okay, let's go to the cards. Oh, they didn't all want to go. Okay. Underlying energy. Our underlying energy for this weekend is the Ace of Wands, finding the sweet spot, finding the balance, understanding how everything can work going forward. What is needed? What isn't needed? What do I need to have control of? Where do I need to let go of control? Where do I need to surrender? Where do I need to push past my fear or my limitation or my anxiety or that obstacle that stands in the way? And slow and steady will win the race. We don't want to rush here. Here we're not actively doing something, but rather we are sitting there in quiet contemplation, understanding the balance that we want to bring in. This new way of being, of becoming. Maybe it's our habits. Maybe it's our behaviors that we change. Maybe it's part of our routine. Maybe we find that when we do that task in the afternoon, oh my gosh, it takes forever. But when we move it to the morning, wow, we just zip through it. And now we've like created like 3 hours worth of extra time because it doesn't take long at all when we tackle that first thing in the morning. So maybe we need to move that obligation to something that is now a morning thing for us so that we can free up that afternoon. And maybe in those 2 or 3 hours, you take time to find joy or happiness around yourself, to pamper yourself in some way, to tell yourself that you love yourself, that you know you've got this, to build the belief in yourself and what you are doing. And that gives you the power to be patient with your path, with yourself. We have the Eight of Swords as our first card, where we thought we were trapped, where we thought there was limitations, where we thought there was that, invisible force field holding us back. We see the way forward. We get the clarity. We get the understanding under this energy. We rip off that blindfold. We see what we couldn't see before. So that requires us to get physical this weekend. Allow your mind to just go into thought, just let it have a little rampage there. That subconscious, you ever go to sleep at night and you're so worried you messed up. How am I going to fix this? How am I going to make it better? Oh, I don't know what to do. And you're just pulling and tugging on your heart, and logic is going in there, and nothing is coming together the way you want. And then you go to sleep, and then you wake up in the morning and your first thought is like, oh, I could just do that. That'll work. Why didn't I think of that? That's so blatantly obvious. It's because when we ask ourselves a question and we ask our mind the question, we fall asleep at night, our mind doesn't really stop, but it works on the solution. Our mind is there to help us move forward, but we have to give it that time to process, to give us the right solution in order to go forward. Under this kind of energy that we're experiencing this weekend, and we have been experiencing, slow and steady, right? Pull it back, think it through. With this energy this weekend, go for a bike ride, go for a walk, go for a run, go canoeing, do something that is physical, dig a hole, dig a ditch, do whatever you need to do in order to just do something physical, which will allow that your mind to just drift off into a different direction, and watch those aha moments, watch those epiphanies arise as we gain a new perspective of how we can accomplish, of how we can go forward with a strength. We also have the Page of Pentacles. He's been hiding from us. So this is about thinking about growing, new dreams, new desires. I don't think anything should be off the table during this time. Whether or not we are acting on it is a whole different ball game. But right now, we can definitely grow our dreams, our desires, not act on them. Okay, the red rose on top of that coin, I don't know how well you can see it. There's a red rose and a white rose there on top of the coin. The red rose is passion. Passion, desire, and courage and strength will lead us in the direction of those big, beautiful successes that we want to see in our life. The white rose is a promise that, yes, when we put our focus, when we put our attention, when we put our energy into our dream, magic happens. Things come to life. We create, we invent, we give birth to. And the pentacle is about growing great wealth, great abundance. And, there's a fog there. So we don't have all the information, nor will we be able to find all the information we need in order to walk that path, okay? We're just getting a glimpse of what life could be like if we followed that path. And we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the learning experience. The Hierophant is learning, gaining wisdom, gaining understanding, gaining truth, and gaining a faith, a belief in yourself, God, your angels, the universe, your higher self. It's about seeking and finding the answers we need. It's about walking through the experiences and learning from the experiences rather than letting it cripple us. So we take the knowledge, we take the wisdom, we cut away a little bit of the emotional part of it. Because the emotional part is the fear and the anxieties, usually when we walk through lessons. When we can detach ourselves from that anxiety. Imagine this, okay? So you're going to meet a friend at the movies. And you're standing there and you're waiting and you're looking at your watch and you're like, oh my gosh, like they're going to sell out. It's like the people are getting in line. Where are they? And so now you have a whole different bunch of ways to think. And you may just think like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're late. I'm like, we had this booked for weeks. Like, what is so important that they can't be here right now? And should I just buy the tickets? Like, I don't know. Will it be money gone to waste because they didn't show? Like, how rude, how arrogant of them. Think about now your reaction, right? Boy, am I going to tell them off when they get here. They're no friend of mine. I can't like live like this and uncertainty. And you can think of all those angry things, right? Or you can sit there and think about, what if a friend walked up to me and said, I was waiting at the theater and my friend was late. How should I react? And they'd be like, well, think about it. Did you phone them to make sure they weren't in an accident or something happened? A personal problem came up and they're kind of lost in the confusion of what's happening to them right now, and completely, the chaos that was presented to them pushed the movie night right out of their mind. Like, is there something where they're in dire straits in some way? Like, you wouldn't just react that way. You wouldn't react like, well, I'm just going to give them a piece of my mind. That is the impulse, right? You're angry, so therefore you're going to make them angry, right? You're mad, so you're going to make them upset, right? And that's the kind of energy we have going on here today. The wisdom of the situation is saying, okay, well, back it up a little bit. They're never usually late. Maybe they ran out of gas. Maybe they had to work late. Maybe something happened that, maybe I should give them a call. Maybe I should text them. Maybe I should just buy those tickets and, well, I can at least go to the show if they don't show up, if I can't get a hold of them. You know, it's about seeing things under a new perspective, allowing yourself to back it up and understand, what advice you'd give to somebody else. And it usually detaches you from the emotion of how you are personally feeling, the injustice done to you in that moment, because that's how we will see it this weekend. But rather to understand that they're probably not in any way, shape, or form trying to upset you in that moment. And perhaps this is the time where you really truly need to stand up and be that friend. Okay. I don't know who that was directed for. I don't even know if it really had anything to do. It had something to do with the energy we would be experiencing this weekend, but maybe look at things through, gain a new perspective, a new understanding. Ask yourself, okay, what would be my advice to a friend if they asked me this? Because that would be the Hierophant energy, people coming to you for wisdom, but you can go to yourself for wisdom. Clear as mud? Okay, let's get an oracle card. And we have inner truths, the 16 energy. Inner truths. Look at that. We're walking through this cavern of the subconscious mind. That's what I get here. What do we got? 16 energy. So it is about awakenings. It is about understandings. It is about realizing what is not supporting you and what truly does have value in your life. inner truths. There's a lot of depth to your feelings. There will be this weekend, absolutely. You are on your way to understanding your feelings and desires more clearly. The next steps down your path will soon reveal themselves. So stay vigilant to new opportunities that may lead to the beginnings of novel projects or assist with current ventures. Look around you and within you. Be willing to do the work at the deepest level. You will find jewels of wisdom, knowledge, and that inner voice, all waiting patiently to assist you. So you will find jewels of wisdom, knowledge, and inner voice created deep within you. Nature's crystals are created deep within the earth. Go deep and find your own treasures. So many times we have the answer within us. So I kind of understand why I had to tell that story now. So kind of blend it together. And I know I probably didn't explain it right, but I hope you got the gist of it. Our animal is the seahorse again, partners. That doesn't surprise me since we have a lot of Libra energy, and that really is about our commitments to others. Seahorse. Okay, so love, partners, foundation, balance. It's all the stuff we're dealing with, right? Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. This is a time for you to look closely at the relationships around you. If you're currently in a love partner, it is time for you to rekindle your passion and explore new ways to build on your foundations. Safety and security are important right now, and Seahorse offers protection, love, and safety so that you can continue on your journey. If you're single, it's very important for you to restore the balance that is missing within you in order to attract the right person. Like attracts like. Be the type of person you want to be in your life. Unlike humans, it's the male seahorse that carries the babies. This card could signify that there is an imbalance between the female and male partnership, which is in which a realignment must take place. And this could be in the workplace, this could be in a love relationship. If you're thinking of beginning your own business, this could be a wonderful time, but you must not go it alone. A partner will be needed to help with the balance. You may be the creative type. You will then need someone to ground you in regards with finances, vice versa, or vice versa. There is also a message that a loved one, perhaps a male energy who has crossed over, is trying to come through. It's a message of love and peace. Ancient Europeans believed that the seahorse carried the souls of deceased sailors to the underworld. Seahorses offered the sailors protection on their journey as they went to meet their destiny. It is now time for you to embrace your destiny. So it's a time for you to embrace your destiny. That is just part of the huge message that is here. Yeah, it's an energy that it might be a little harder to walk through. We may feel very uncomfortable. We may feel, out of balance, out of sorts, and that's okay. Just take your time, one slow, deliberate step at a time right now is all that's needed in order for you to walk in towards the successes, the joys, the prosperities of your path going forward. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.